Welcome to another episode of Married with Video Games. I'm your host, Matthew.
I'm your host, Christina.
And it's a little off episode, but we did our Steam Deck first impressions and power wash
Yes.
simulator.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a little different of an episode. I bought a Steam Deck a long time ago, and it finally came in the mail.
It did. We were out of town when it came in the mail, which was very disappointing.
No, that was a little disappointing. But to be fair, I wouldn't have had a ton. To be fair, I wouldn't have had a ton of time to play it while we were up in the Yoop.
The Yoop, yes. And your dad was in town as well, so we were doing home renovation projects in our spare time instead of relaxing.
Yes, and then, so I didn't really get to have a ton of hands-on with it until I'd say the past few days. I've had
Past week, yeah.
Had a lot more. We've tried a few things out, and we're just going to be kind of talking about, this is our first impressions, but is it all that it's hyped up to be? And I guess what was it hyped up to be? It's a portable gaming computer. To answer that silly question. And
so it's a laptop?
Kind of. It's a handheld. It's a handheld computer based off Linux-based computer system and Steam, which is it is the largest, at least I believe it's the largest
Probably.
PC gaming where you can store all your games in one spot. When you buy it, whenever you see someone, what's your Steam library, how many games are in there? Mine is over 15 years old now. So I have over 167 games in my
I was going to say, you want to
Steam.
go look up how many games you have? It's sitting right over there.
Mm-hmm. I have a fair amount. I bought 1.5 games. I'll explain that in a minute for it, and what that actually means. I downloaded a fair amount. I've played around with a little bit. I haven't had it and sat and played for 4 or 5 hours, but I don't do that anymore. We don't do that anymore.
Our max play time is maybe 2.5 hours if we're feeling really feisty.
Breath in the Wild, I think, is the last time you and I played for like 4 or 5 hours.
Last of Us Part 2, the first day it came out, because we really, really wanted to play that.
We played a long time that day. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought, because the only time I could think about it was Breath of the Wild, because you worked from home.
I did. I ignored client calls, and then my boss called me.
Mm-hmm. So
then I had to call them back.
I think that was the one time we played about 5 or 6 hours straight of a video game.
Oh, we played the whole day. Yeah, Last of Us Part 2, we played the morning, like, through lunch, and then we took the dog on a walk, and we're like, that was a really depressing place to stop playing.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that game is, it was a piece of work.
Yes.
The Last of Us Part 1 just released today, by the way, like for public purchasing. The remake of it.
Yes, Jake Baldino posted screenshots on Twitter.
Oh,
and
well,
then
hopefully he
made the
talks about it
comment
today.
that The Last of Us brings out the worst of us, because people were just like losing their minds in his comment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of controversy, but anyway.
Yes.
Steam Deck. I covered a few areas of it, so I did a build quality. The games library, playability. I just kind of want to give you guys a rundown. And then we did some pros and some cons. And then we have a little mini review for Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah, we've only played it for like 2.5 hours or so.
Yeah, but we kind of... You pretty much have the whole gist of the game at that point. So it's fair enough to say this is kind of what you're doing the whole time. Mm-hmm. So I bought the best model. There were 3 models. There was a 64 gigabit one, a 256. This is storage space, and then 512. So I bought the 512 model. That came with a special carrying case and a better screen. And I think something, it's like faster storage or something along those lines. It had a few other bells and whistles, and I said it wasn't that much more expensive than the other model, so I went with that. I love the case. I think it's great. I think it's really unique on how they set it up. There's a place with an elastic strap where you can store the power pack behind the elastic strap, and then there's a handle to hold the case as well.
It's a really nice quality case. It's actually got like a hard shell to it, which is...
And they built a really custom interior to fit specifically with that, and they gave me a microfiber cloth with it too, which is, I think that's the only model that gets a microfiber cloth as well.
Compared to the Zelda case that we have for our Switch, that's just like a mesh bag on the inside that you slide the Switch into.
Yeah, this is it was really worth the extra money, I think, to have something out of the gate, though they do sell bags and stuff for it online. Some of them are pretty cool. I don't think it's big. When you hold it next to a Switch, it's huge.
Yeah, it's giant compared to a Switch. It literally reminds me of a Sega Game Gear.
In a way, yes.
I'm going to actually look up a Sega Game Gear because I'm just going on my, 4-year-old me memory.
But I found that the buttons weren't hard to reach, despite the way it is, because your hand's in there. And then there's customizable buttons, 4 of them on the back, but it has the typical right, left button, and then the triggers, and then it's got the WXYB. Yeah, so there's only 2 buttons on the Game Gear compared to the 4, I guess. But it's the touchscreen is there. It has a D-pad. It's got 2 joysticks, and it actually has 2 mouse pads, little mini mouse pads, which are functional on the front. I know
somebody was complaining about the mouse pads not being super great, but when I had to use it for something, it was surprisingly good.
Yeah, if you were trying to play a game with it, I would say it wouldn't be that good. But if you were just using it to move around on a menu system where some of them require a mouse, it works out just fine. It's a plastic case, but it's actually really well built. I mean, by plastic case, it is encased in plastic. It's like the Switch in that regard. Yeah. It doesn't get hot to the touch, at least that I have noticed from use. And the only other thing is battery life. I've heard some people complaining about it. That's not really a con for me. I don't know what people were expecting for a handheld gaming computer.
I know.
Like handheld gaming computer. Even the Switch really lasts 3 to 4 hours tops. It doesn't last that long, battery charge.
No.
And like I said, we don't sit and play a video game that long. And if I was going to play longer on it, I could just sit and plug it in.
It feels like it's a fantastic thing for someone who plays casually or just above casually, like somebody that's not gonna sit around for 6 hours at a time playing something, but like if they're out and about, like pulling this out to be able to play like Spider-Man or God of War, they'd have that opportunity to play it for like an hour while they're waiting for a train or waiting for a friend to show up.
Yeah, and you could charge it at your work, at your office, wherever you're doing, and then when you're on your way home, if you're not driving, you can pull it out and do the same thing again.
Yes.
I don't sit and play games that long. I guess if you were one that plays games longer, maybe invest in a gaming computer. But you are not going to find a handheld gaming computer at $650 in this market.
No.
They've made, there's other ones that exist, but they're $2,000.
Yes.
They're more powerful machines, but you're paying for that cost. You were looking at something here.
I Google searched Sega Game Gear just for like size comparison. Then I did Sega Game Gear versus Steam Deck, and somebody has a side by side up here. You can see, and they're very similar. The Steam Deck is much larger.
The screen of the Steam Deck is like almost the Game Gear.
Yes, almost the Game Gear. But someone on Reddit did a comparison of like the Game Gear versus the Steam Deck, and it's just so the RAM of the Game Gear, which came out in 1990, was 24 kilobits versus the Steam Deck of 16 gigabits. Storage was 128 kilobits to a 1 megabit and a ROM cartridge.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Input was a D-pad and 3 buttons. The Steam Deck has a D-pad, 14 buttons, 2 sticks, 2 trackpads, and 2 triggers. Battery, 6 AA batteries for 3 to 5 hours, or 40, I don't know what WH is, for 2 to 8 hours.
Oh, watts, I believe.
Probably. Connectivity is a cable for local multiplayer versus dual band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And the price was $149.99 at the time, but adjusted for inflation would be $299.20 in today's society.
Jeez, oh Pete's.
And the library was 364 Game Gear plus 313 Master System with an adapter.
Ooh.
And the library for Steam Deck is 15,315 out of 18,715 tested Steam games on Steam OS. Entire Steam library with Windows, other game stores, Epic, Uplay, Origin, etc. Titles from outside of online stores, emulators of other systems.
Yeah.
We've come a long way in 31 years.
The technology is kind of just absolutely insane.
Yes, I took us way off. There's also a Steam Deck versus a Game Boy Advance comparison.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think
my Game Boy Advance is
you
somewhere
can see it
in the
next
house.
to the Switch even. There's the Wii U. And then, so that's next to the Wii U. I mean, it's bigger than all of them.
Yes. Yeah, there's the Switch. Yeah.
It's a big system.
It is.
But it's actually... did you find it comfortable holding it? Wasn't
I
too
did.
big?
It was odd at first just because there's like the hand triggers on the back that I wasn't sure if I was going to mess something up if I pushed them, and not in Power Wash Simulator. There's not. And then once you get like 5 minutes into the game, you're more focused on the game. I didn't even think anything of it. I thought I was still like holding a Switch Pro controller.
Yeah,
it was,
bigger.
It was
your
comfortable.
hands are farther apart. Yeah. So, games library. This one I'm not going to go too in depth on because I have not downloaded my swath of games to try everything. But I'll kind of break it down for you what they've done. There's a green check mark for games that are 100% or almost like 99% going to work all the time, albeit maybe unless there's glitches in the game itself.
Standard glitches from the game, not anything with the software on the Steam Deck.
That's correct. Then there's a yellow exclamation, means the game is compatible, but it may not be the perfect experience. The one thing I found the most is the menu systems still require a mouse and keyboard before the controller functionality kicks in. So you have to use the trackpad to get into that. Skyrim is an example of that. But once you get in, it works just fine. The controller stuff kicks right in on the computer. So
is that also, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, is that also the case for like how they map the controls? Would that be a yellow exclamation point or no?
I'm not entirely certain because I know all the games. I can customize the button usage if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So I theoretically could go into Power Wash Simulator and program the back buttons to do the spray if I wanted.
Don't screw me up.
But I'm just saying that's what you could do. So, but I think you might be correct. If it doesn't map to the Steam Deck controller, it might give you a yellow.
Okay.
And you'd have to custom map it or something like that. That might be correct.
Okay.
But I am not certain of that. I haven't come across it yet, at least.
Okay.
Some games are just not Linux compatible, and so it'll let you know that this game's not compatible. There are ways to make it work. I am just never going to do it. I'm not going to mess with the system too much. But you can get in there and change stuff to make games work that are not. And there's unknown, which means that the people in the community have not sent enough verifications in, or Steam hasn't gone through and verified all 15,000 plus games.
17,000 plus games. They verified 15,000.
Yes. So there's a lot of games that are on the store itself. It gives you a Steam Deck verified. Like I said, gaming on the handheld, it looks great. It's beautiful. The screen is nice and big. And then streaming to the TV works flawlessly.
Oh, it's perfect. Once we figured out to install the Steam Link on our TV, on our smart TV, it was
no
great.
latency or anything.
No.
So I was shocked with how good that was.
Yeah, I was impressed too.
So I'm going to start with some cons, and if you have anything else you'd like to add, we can throw those in. Bluetooth connection is awful with the controllers.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, we don't know exactly what it is, but the lag, it kicks in and it's just miserable.
Yeah, so we first tried it with a Switch Pro controller, and I was just playing the Power Wash Simulator, and it would work for about 3 minutes, and then the connectivity would just die out completely for about 30 seconds, and then the controller would reconnect. So whatever you were doing on screen, you were still doing. Yes. You couldn't move anything. I was jamming buttons, but that's just how I play games. Mm-hmm. So you didn't even look up from anything. But then it would kick back in for another 3 minutes, and then it would kick out. So the next night, we tried it with one of the PlayStation 5 controllers. So I'm like, maybe it's the Switch controllers because they're just older, and
I mean, it's 5 years old at this
Nintendo
point.
Doesn't care about what's inside of their stuff because they can get away with not caring about that. Mm-hmm. And the same thing happened with the PlayStation 5 controllers.
It's a known issue. I think somebody has done some stuff for a workaround, and it's fine holding the thing in your hand.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it might also be partially due to us streaming to the TV and then Bluetooth connecting into it, If we have a dock, it might function a little bit better with a dock. And maybe an Xbox controller might work better too.
I was just gonna say, there's no dock?
You can use third party, but
there's no like Steam or Valve.
That was a nitpicky con for me, but there's no first party dock at launch. They were working on one, and it got delayed because of all the BS going around.
There's no dock at launch, you're saying, but this launched last year, so
there's no for
there's
me.
There's still no dock for us.
Yeah, there's no dock for us.
Come on, Valve.
You can get a third party dock, and they work. I just haven't seen the controller set up at that point in time. I'd have to look into that more. Now, this is another nitpicky thing, but the 512 gigabits of storage is acceptable. But there's some games that are 60 to 100 plus gigs.
Cyberpunk is like 100 gigs.
So if you download, that's 1/5 of your
storage already.
Right there alone. Yeah. Now, you can buy expandable storage. But if you bought a lower model, the 256 or the 64, you really need storage.
I would like to know how many people bought the 64.
I bet you some people did just to have it.
That's true.
And then they bought a 2 terabyte micro SD.
That's
probably
true.
What they did.
Smart nerds.
But the 512 out the gate is good. I can store plenty of games on it, but after a while I'm still going to have to buy, and I will be buying expandable storage. A fast micro SD card will go in there eventually. I think some games that should be compatible out of the gate require some odd setup to run. Again, Skyrim, I know it works with a controller. It just wasn't working without the mouse pad at first for some reason for me. And maybe that's something they tuned up, but just to give an idea, it should just work with a controller because you can play it on PC with a controller. So I'm just, maybe it's just the Steam Deck controller is not compatible. Again, that's a nitpicky thing. It doesn't really matter that much. I can get into the game and play it if I want to.
Yeah, that's... Still, we're here to nitpick.
Yes, going over cons for me, and then streaming to the TV, sometimes the TV soundbar doesn't pick up the sound right away, or I have to turn it on and off for it to...
Yeah, it did that to us a couple times.
Yeah, it'll work through the day, and then all of a sudden it'll come out of the sound bar. But it takes longer for that sound to transmit, even though there's still no lag or delay on the actual movement or anything. And the sound that comes out of the Steam Deck itself is pretty loud.
It is. So it's not too much of a deterrent, but it's just kind of like, really? Okay.
Yep. So, anything else that you could think of con-wise?
No.
Downside?
No, you did a good job.
Pros. My first one is silly, but it's an affordable gaming computer. It's very well made, and the top model is very well built. I can't speak to the other two because I haven't used either of them.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming it's a similar experience. But it was $650, $649.99 or something stupid like that. But it was compared to spending $2-3 on a laptop or a brand new computer. Gosh. It's a really good, like you said, alternative for someone who doesn't sit and play games all day. It's really a good thing, and it's a highly recommend.
Or someone like you who used to have like a viable gaming computer that died, and then you got a gaming laptop that also died, so you really haven't had access to your Steam library
in a long time.
In at least 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've sat and played any games on the PC. Now again, PlayStation 5, all the other stuff we do has been fine. But you're right, there's a lot of games I just haven't been able to touch.
I really wanted to play Stick of Truth when it came out, but it's only on PC. So at the time it was.
It's on all the systems now. Yeah. We just have never we don't have time.
One time you hooked up your gaming laptop through HDMI and we played for like an hour, but like it was such a labor to get that set up and get the sound to go through, and then we have a rabbit who likes to chew cords, and there's not a good place to set the laptop with all the cords. Yep, it
was a thing.
Yep,
this just lets us Steam right there, so
yeah,
it might happen. It's more likely to happen now that we can do this. There, like I was complaining before, but there is a micro SD slot to expand the storage. So if you feel like you don't have enough, you can just add on, and you can swap out micro SDs. So you don't have to keep deleting or reinstalling. You can just download the games to that micro SD.
Oh, that's cool.
Pop them out and put a new one in. So again, I'm not going to spend that much money or time.
No.
I am not the person that cares if I delete a game or reinstall a game.
You do that all the time on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, we're done playing this, delete.
Yeah, it just frees up space. If we're not going to jump back into it, and if you ever want to play it again, I'll just go download it. Mm-hmm. It's not a big deal. Games that are compatible to run flawlessly, and it's really fun playing high graphical games on the go. Being able to actually download and play a real powerful and making it look better on the go is really cool. Having that entire Steam library now, to be fair, some games, just like anywhere, require an internet connection, but Cult of the Lamb requires an internet connection.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in that review. I'm enjoying Cult of the Lamb. I just don't like that it's online.
So it's apples to oranges at that point. Once you download them, if the game can run offline, you can just play it, which is really cool. That was the game I bought was Midnight Fight Express, and then I bought that Vampire Survivors for $1.99.
That's the half game.
That's the half game, but it's mindless, and it works really well on the deck as something you can just sit and do for 15 minutes if you're waiting for something.
It is very mindless. I fell asleep as you were playing it the other night in bed.
It's great.
It was fantastic. I loved when you were playing one of the Pokemon games, like right after we got married, on my 3DS, and I would just fall asleep while you were playing Pokemon. That's the best.
You did that all the time.
I did the best.
I stayed up way too late playing Pokemon some evenings.
You did. You don't do that anymore.
No. It's fully moddable. Back to the Steam Deck. I fall asleep before you sometimes these days. The system itself is fully moddable, and parts can be swapped out for better parts. That being said, I know some of the stuff would be difficult to swap out and use, but you can swap out if you're savvy enough. You can go in and take out the RAM and put in different RAM. You can go in and take out the some stuff and replace it in there. You can replace the joysticks, the buttons, all that stuff. If you want your own custom
That's
stuff,
impressive.
You can go ahead and do so.
It's a lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort. I've watched videos. I don't care that much.
Kudos to you guys who want to go do that. Kudos.
But it is really cool. And it is compatible with third-party items, docks, battery packs, different power supplies. It really is a very customizable experience, and you can make and do what you want with it in a large array of ways. It's awesome.
Yes.
It's a really cool system. It has a lot to offer. I know if this concept takes off here, the next generation is going to blow everything else out of the water.
Yeah.
If they do a Steam Deck 2.0, it's going to be just absolutely a ludicrous thing. So, I want to give it a rating.
Yes.
Before we do our little power wash simulator, what would you say, just from your quick experience? We might do a full review, but this is just kind of getting people in. What do you think this would be?
I really haven't had a ton of hands-on experience with it, but watching you just kind of tool around with it and seeing how much fun you've been having, even in like minimal 20-minute sessions, I would give it a 9.
Ooh. It's going to be funny because you're going to give it a higher rating than me, and I'm going to explain my rating.
Okay.
I give it a 7.5.
Oh.
Now listen. I am very nitpicky with PC stuff.
That is very true.
If it had a first-party dock out of the gate that I could buy, and if it had a terabyte of storage, I'd give it an 8.5 in a heartbeat. When I put a new micro SD card in there and I have a dock for it of some sort, and if we could sort out the Bluetooth controller issue, 9.5. No problem saying
true.
No problem saying it's a 9.5. Out of the bag, it is exactly what I expected it to be.
Okay.
A 7.5 is what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to be blown to the moon.
Okay.
But I also was really disappointed with the Bluetooth issue with the controller. That bothered me more than anything else because that makes me worried for if we do get a dock and I want to dock it to a TV and play a game.
Yeah, is that issue going to go away now that it's docked and hardwired into a TV and not streaming, or are we still going to have that Bluetooth issue?
And that would just make it pointless. Why would you get a dock then?
Yes.
other than a mouse and keyboard, I guess. But I'd rather just play. If I'm doing that, I'm gonna have a controller.
Yeah.
So again, I may be getting a little nitpicky, and I guess I could do a USB controller functionality with it. I have a 360 controller that's completely wired. Mm-hmm. They're hard to find those, but I have one.
Yes. I keep wanting to throw it out, and you're like, no, I need it for PC gaming.
And that's literally because you can't find a wired controller. And if the Bluetooth issue is still there, that's going to be my bread and butter for doing that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So caveat, this system, the moment I put a micro SD card in there, it's going to be an 8.
Okay. And then the moment they've fixed the Bluetooth or give you a first-party dock.
First-party dock and fix the Bluetooth, 9.5 for me.
Okay.
The consoles, I don't think there's a 10 for me. The PlayStation 5 is close. It's a really good system. I have my
Switch would be a 10 when it came out, but that's mostly because it came out in conjunction with Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild is just...
Yes, and we have some gripes about the Switch now as well.
Yes, we do. We'll save that for Cult of the Lamb.
Yes, but anyway. Yeah, so I am loving this thing, so don't take my rating and go, well, that's really poor. It's issues I know they're going to fix.
Yeah.
And it's stuff, because they have been working on this thing since day one, and apparently the original user experience to now is night and day different.
I'm sure.
Well, Jake Baldino got one day one, didn't he?
I believe
when it came out, and he was saying that it was, it's a lot different, and it keeps getting better. So my thought is they're just going to keep working on it, finding a good spot, and eventually they'll come out with a second generation. I probably won't get the second generation. But if they keep making new generations, I'll skip one and go to the next one. And da-da-da-da-da kind of thing down the line. I hope they keep working on it, and I hope this takes off, and I hope it becomes popular. Don't let my rating dissuade you, because all the stuff that there are options to get around that, including a third-party dock that you can purchase for anywhere from $30 to $100. You get yourself a third-party dock, and you can dock it up with USB, multiple HDMI ports, etc., all into the one thing. You have a dock downstairs for your monitors and stuff.
Yes.
Similar thing.
Okay.
I don't even know how much that was, or did your work just give you that?
Work gave it to me.
Yeah, so it's a similar concept. I get one of those, and you can plug it in and do what you need to do.
We could probably take my work one and
try it out. I mean, we could. Is there USB on there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We should try.
Yeah.
We'll try it out sometime.
Okay.
We'll borrow it and see how it works. See if we can USB in a controller. Anyway, Power Wash Simulator.
Power Wash Simulator. This is going to be
short and sweet.
Very cut and dry. It's not its own episode. It'd be like 7 minutes long. Mm-hmm. So it was released July 14th, 2022 for PC.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Metacritic, when I finally realized that it's Power Wash Simulator and not Power Washer Simulator.
That's my fault. I typed Power Washer.
It's 76 from critics, 7.5 from users.
That is a yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So I found IGN's review. So IGN positive. You repeat the same routine no matter the job at hand, equipping the widest angle of the 5 available nozzle types to blast away large swaths of dirt on bigger surfaces before dialing in a more aggressive, narrow nozzle to deal with the finer details. You do have to change your angle in order to clean gunk out from various grooves, nooks, and crannies, but that's about it. It really is the definition of a rinse and repeat job. Low on challenge, but reliant on sound methodology. It's a highly satisfying loop, though, as a daunting 100-square-foot roof gradually becomes a clean slate to be proud of. Not before leaving a second-rate Jackson Pollock and childlike messages in the dirt, that is. Mm-hmm. And then underneath that, there was a screenshot of where they wrote poo with the smiley face and the O's.
Uh-huh.
IGN negative.
Okay.
Every so often, frustration can set in when trying to find the smallest speck in quite a large area, though. Mm-hmm. I found myself scouring the seemingly endless floor of a skate park looking for smudges of dirt with a highlighting tool in a manner not dissimilar from using a UV light to uncover the more unsavory stains at a crime scene. However, it's a bit less exciting than that because the only crimes being committed here are unforgivable levels of uncleanliness on show from whoever owns these properties.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're awful. The properties are disgusting.
Yeah, we've only done a couple of the levels.
We've done 3 of them. We did the first... I don't even remember what
the van was the first one.
The van was the first one.
We did the backyard with like the barbecue and the deck.
And we did the dirt bike.
I did the dirt bike, and then we started on the playground.
Yeah, we had unlocked 2, and we chose the playground over whatever the other one was.
Yes.
We finally went into the store and bought some soap, bought new nozzles.
Yeah, new nozzle, and then you bought some extensions after the fact. IGN's review did say that the cleaners are kind of hard to come by, so they end up not using them, and it doesn't really do anything when you use them. Like, sometimes they make it easier.
You clean an area a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
The soap just eradicates the dirt. It's not overly realistic, guys. You're not the satisfaction of watching and pushing the dirt away out of it is not there.
Yeah, it's not like the TikToks of like the rug cleaning people where like they
or
like
a power
soap it up,
washer.
or a power wash one where they like soap it up and like run the thing over it and then like smoosh it all out, and it's just fantastic to watch. But you do get to see something dirty go to something clean, and then when you finish cleaning a particular like part of something, you get like a nice ka-ting, and then you get like a dollar amount, and that is oddly satisfying.
Yes, and you don't need to be 100% on it. There's a meter for it.
Once you get to like 98, 99%,
it'll clean the whole thing
Yes.
for you. So you'll notice that sometimes you're like, there, I saw a big patch of dirt. What happened? It's a video game. It just disappears, and it's okay. At first, I was like, oh, come on, I wanted to get that piece, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, now I have a huge other wall to go do. So
video game. Then now I'm just thinking of the Mystery Science Theater. It's a TV show. I should really just relax.
This game is super relaxing.
It is. It is exactly what the title says it is. It is a power wash simulator.
You find the nozzles. We're looking to upgrade our power washer sooner whenever we can, and be able to have more powerful spray to clean off things a little quicker. And I have just found when I've had a long day at work or I'm exhausted and I'm not going to be in the mood to watch anything, I say, do you want to just power wash something for an hour and a half? And she's like, I can do that. And it's funny because she goes, all right, I want to do this, and I'll play a little Cult of the Lamb. And an hour and 20 minutes later, she goes, I guess I'm not playing Cult of the Lamb
Yeah, it was
tonight.
like 40 minutes. You got home from work, and you're like, I don't want to play anything. Will you just play Power Wash Simulator? I'm like, yeah, I'll play that for a little bit, and then I might do like a run in Cult of the Lamb. And I played Power Wash Simulator for probably about an hour, and then it was like we had like a half an hour before we normally go to bed, and I'm like, I don't really want to play Cult of the Lamb, and you're like, all right, just give me the Steam Deck, and then you played for an hour. That was great.
Yeah, it's relaxing, and I played it in bed one time for a little bit, and I was playing it. I just unplugged the Steam Deck, brought it upstairs, I walked upstairs, I plugged it in, and I just played a little more in bed while you were reading, and you watched me power wash a little bit, and then that was it.
Yes.
It's really nice. It's relaxing. Like she said, there's nothing complicated about this game.
Nope.
Point, shoot. You can even turn the water on automatic, so you don't even have to hold the trigger down to do it.
Yes, I accidentally stumbled on that.
And you found the highlighter tool too, which is nice.
Yeah, where it shows you like what spots of dirt you're missing.
Yes, that's nice. And you were struggling at first, but you got better at the end when you mix up rotating and switching the nozzles.
Yeah, I'm probably going to mess that up because we haven't played in a couple days.
But it's... Honestly, I never thought I'd buy a simulation game of any kind. The farm simulators, the truck driving ones, none of that.
Farming Simulator 5.
None of that interests me whatsoever. No. But this game, it fits on... It's perfect for the deck. It's perfect to relax. You can play it offline. I don't know. It's a good game.
Yeah.
It's silly.
How much was it? Like $20?
Yeah, it was $20.
Okay.
15 to $20. I don't remember, but it's in that range. So no, I'm sorry. I bought a third game, or a 2.5 game.
You bought it first.
Yes.
There was no like thinking about it.
I got the thing, and I immediately, after it downloaded, I bought Power Wash Simulator. It just happened, and I don't regret that purchase.
Nope.
One iota.
Nope.
That's it, guys. That's the game.
Uh-huh.
There's going to be more levels, and we're going to be doing the same thing in those levels too.
Yeah, that's why we're not really going to review. Although, reading IGN's review, I guess, spoiler alert, there are a couple like quote unquote puzzle ones. I was doing air quotes. They can't see me doing air quotes. Homer, Mr. Burns can't see you winking. Mm-hmm. There's one with a carousel where like it's behind a fence, so you have to like make it rotate so that you can get all the
This stuff.
Yeah,
that's cool.
There's a couple, and I think they said there's a mansion level that you can't get to it. You're like out at a fence, so you have to try to figure that out.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I will.
We'll have to get that far.
We'll get that far and take a look. See. Then we'll be a little intuitive. You get ladders to climb up high.
Yes, or step stools.
Yeah, you get little tools for levels to get up on roofs and stuff. It's a lot of fun to clean the backyard and actually make their backyard livable again.
I don't know how it got that bad.
Yeah, the lawn was perfectly cut, too, so...
The lawn, pristine. Everything else, complete and utter crap.
What do you give this game?
I'd give it an 8.
Me too.
Okay.
We're even on this one. It's an 8. It's a straightforward... Again, if the puzzles turn out to be mind-bogglingly good... 8.5. Congratulations, you earned it, guys. That's it, you guys. If there's something else you'd like us to play, hit us up at Gaming Marriage on Twitter or gamingmarriage@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to review something else that you suggest for us. That might be fun to play something.
Maybe you have it in your Steam library.
Maybe I do, or if it's cheap enough, I'll get it. We are interested in Tunic when it comes out on the PlayStation 5. It is already out in the Steam Deck, but I'm really trying to finish Horizon, and she's going to finish Cult of the Lamb before
I gotta get back into Bug Snacks so I can get to the island of Big Snacks.
You got Big Snacks to do as well. But when Tunic comes out, we will both play that, and if it's really, really difficult, I will play it.
Yeah, I will start that one, and then you'll probably take over.
If it gets difficult, you might just be fine, and it might just... You've been playing games like that for a little while now, so you're a lot better at it.
Yes.
Anyway, that's it, guys.
That's all we got.
Yeah, I hope to hear from you soon.
Bye.